morning, the most news in the morning, period. Weekdays 6 Eastern.
I moderated a panel at Columbia University on the breakdown of the worldwide financial markets. I had the chance to sit down with one of the participants, global financier George Soros. After the panel, he is the author of the new book, The New Paradigm for Financial Markets, the Credit Crisis of 2008 and What It Means. I began by asking him if we have managed to avoid a complete collapse of the financial system.
We came extremely close to it. Actually, you could say that you did have a momentary meltdown following the collapse of Lehman Brothers. We came close to it, and now we are past that point, and from now on, slowly, the system is going to start healing. However, the fallout on the real economy has been accelerated by this traumatic event that has made everybody very anxious. So consumers stop spending, savers go to the safest possible place to keep their savings, businesses cut back, and that will assure a pretty steep recession.
And how steep do you think it'll be? How deep will it be? How long will it last?
I think the economy is falling off the cliff right now.
Really?
So it's going to be quite steep. Depending on how the authorities handle it, it doesn't need to be very long. It will certainly take 18 months before you come out of it. So you're going to have a steep decline, but it doesn't have to be a very prolonged one.
People may be wondering, is my job safe? Am I going to lose my job? Because so many companies are expecting that the end of this fourth quarter will be terrible. The beginning of next year may be even worse. Some projections that unemployment will hit 9%. Would you agree with that?
Yes, certainly. I think that's very much in the cards. 8 to 9% is in the cards. Historically, markets have risen during recession. So while this is not going to happen right away, once you see the bottom, you get a sense that you see the other side, you may find that markets will start going up long before the economy starts improving.
We talked, George, about this intersection between Wall Street and Main Street, and you have said that you believe that the $700 billion bailout was aimed at Wall Street.
Yes, but the two streets are connected. So if Wall Street goes down the drain, Main Street would be very badly hurt. So you did need to, so to speak, save Wall Street. But it has to be very clear that this was not meant to help Main Street, and we'll have to take additional measures to help particularly the homeowners.
Senator Barack Obama has suggested a 90-day moratorium on foreclosures, which would keep people in their homes for a time. Some people have suggested that's just kicking the problem down the road. Senator John McCain has proposed $300 million to buy up these mortgages, lower their value, sell them back to the homeowners to keep them in their homes. Which is the better idea?
McCain is suggesting would again help the institutions that own the mortgages, because they would be bought out.
At face value.
This time, it's the householders, the people in the homes, that need to get their mortgages downsized. And I think a 90-day moratorium would allow Obama to come into power, and then he can take the necessary steps.
If he wins the election.
If he wins the election.
Do you believe that the next president will be able to focus on the real needs of this country going forward, or will their time be completely occupied by this economic meltdown?
I think that the next president will face an extremely difficult task, and he will have to do something unusual, have to take some steps, something out of the box to justify the hopes that are attached to him. And I think it has to be probably in the area of energy, global warming and energy independence, because that's where very large investments need to be made.
On the political front, Mr. Soros, you're famous for dumping millions and millions of dollars into Democratic causes, Center for American Progress, MoveOn.org, other 527s. You said in the 2004 election you wanted to make the central focus of your life unseating President Bush. Do you have too much influence in the political process because of the amount of money that you have and your willingness to spend it?
Well, first of all, I have had absolutely no contact with Senator Obama ever since he started running for president. I support him.
But you do fund organizations that have had contact.
Well, I fund organizations that bring out the vote, and of course they do have a certain bias. There's no question about it. But I exercise no influence on government policy. I don't need any favors from government. So I do want a government to function better, but I'm not looking for any kind of personal favor. I don't need it.
You were described in a recent episode of Saturday Night Live as owner of the Democratic Party.
The US dollar will have to be devalued sometime next week, either Tuesday or Wednesday. I haven't decided which yet. It will depend on how I feel.
Well, I was amused.
I mean, how true is that?
Well, it's no foundation to it.
But there's no question that Barack Obama is your man. You want to see him in the White House. But you haven't been quite as active in this election cycle as you were in 2004. Why not?
Because I felt that in 2004, the greatest benefit that I could bring to humanity was to prevent his re-election.
George
so
Bush.
I was willing to, go out, and I put my money on the line, and I put my mouth where my money was. I spoke out against him, and I think that events have kind of validated that, in fact, we would be in a much better place if he had not been re-elected.